will have actually lost all its memories and you will start afresh as a traveler. So now, as the time will go, you will, in the first update, you will have battle tanks as the main minigame. So the battle tanks is actually a turn-based tank game where you will whenever you enter the game, you will have to pay a fees and you will enter the game. When you enter, you will actually get a battlefield and you will see your tanks and your opponent tanks. So that too again will be in 3D in isometric view. So you will get two controllers, one to control the direction and one to control the height angle. So using those two controllers, you will have to shoot your bombs or whatever, depending on your ability you are using. So some tanks can actually up your team members' attacks. Some tanks can heal them. Some tanks can provide defense. While currently the headgears and hand gears of the cats actually provide abilities. For example, the Angel Ring will actually convert the whole battlefield into a paradise-like place where damage is reduced and healing is increased. And using these abilities, you will have to strategize your gameplay and defeat your opponents. Currently, we have 1v1 and 2v2 and most probably 5v5. But we are actually looking at how we can have more people, like more than two people actually fighting at the same time. So we can team up and communicate. So those things will come in the later updates while we figure things out in test runs and beta testings.
And is this
So
player versus player, or is this
yes, it's player
a
versus
team?
player. It's actually player versus player.
Oh, okay, wow.
The main thing about is the reason we are doing turn-based is because when we have a crypto game or something, hackers actually try to take over the whole thing. So to protect from that, we are actually trying out a turn-based game. So after every turn, we can actually analyze the damages and everything and see if it is actually legit using the main servers.
Right. Yeah, that makes total sense. And is the world it seems to have like kind of an Old West feel. Is that going to follow through is kind of like Frontier Prairie going to be the theme?
That is actually one part of the game. Like the arcade, the Battle Tanks arcade or the whole Wild West arcade is actually like that. The
That's
Catlands
very
is
cool.
actually a lush green forest kind of place with shrines and vines and flowers, farms and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. And so so there's kind of like a PvP section of the game. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
I see.
actually, in the Catlands too, you will have some PvP mostly, and PvP will be also with there. In Catlands, there will also be a game called Cafe Cooking, which is slightly more passive than the Battle Tanks, but it will again be another mini game where you will have to use dust cats to deliver the food and cook. You can also help your cats to cook the food faster and stuff like that.
Okay, and then is that where the X dust comes into play, or how
Yes,
does
that
that
is. So
what?
the X dust is actually a placeholder for dust for now. Currently, the arcade game will actually use Xdust. Like if you want to buy tanks, you will have to use Xdust. Shopping for clothes and customizable items like glasses, hairs, beard, or face masks, like whatever you want to buy, you can use Xdust for that. Leveling up your chibis will actually be another thing called candies that I will explain later. And for like anything you do, you will have to spend extras. Anything you want to buy or any fees you want to enter. So, for example, say you are having a 1v1 battle. So, the fees is 5 extras, and both of you put in 5 extras. So, the winner actually gets 9 extras, and 1 extra is put back into the mine.
Right. And so X dust, you said it's a placeholder. So is there going to be just dust? Because like I know the Dingo game is being set up like that, right? There's XDG, and then that will be replaced by DG, right?
Yes, it will be replaced. Like dust coins won't actually be a thing after once the dust releases. X dust won't be a thing once the dust releases.
Okay, and just to kind of explain to everybody why you do that, let me tell me if this is a good explanation. So the basic idea here is that you're still pre-IDO, right? So you want staking to occur, you want people to be able to see earnings, but you also don't want this token to be tradable. I assume XDust is not tradable, is that right?
No, it's not great.
Right. So then, so that's a real unique solution because you can show users earnings. They can claim these earnings and hold them and kind of visualize them. Um, but it, but it doesn't. But it prevents a liquidity pool from being formed because once
Yeah.
that
The,
happens, you've kind of the bloom is off the rose, so to speak, for an IDO because now the market has already set a price, so you can't really set an IDO price. Is that about right?
yeah. That's actually the main reason why this actually happened, like why we chose X-ray instead of directly putting in dust.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason is that, like, if we started with dust, we actually didn't have any use case while the staking was going on. So there would be just massive dumps all over the place, and we would have no way to control anything at all. So we are starting with Xdust. So we get some time to actually set up the use cases to set up the economy. So people will have to start using Xdust and it starts the economy rolling. And then once you convert it to dust, the economy kind of stays the same. There will be dumps, of course. People will dump. Some of the
Yep.
people who are holding just for dumping will, of course, dump. But even then, if we set the economy, it will actually, the dumps won't be that much strong and we'll actually have an economy to go through.
And then we can just pick up the dumps. I mean, that's a good opportunity for us, so
Yeah,
we're not upset about that.
yeah.
Um,
And actually, Chibi Dust is actually, I don't think it's going to go down real soon because one of the thing is it has a lot of burn mechanics. Like whatever you do, some part of it just gets burned anyways. The second thing is that everything that happens to Eztools, like we have a direct partnership with Eztools. Every single fees or every single thing, every single coin that Eztool earns, a share of it is actually fed back into the Chibi liquidity pool.
and now, when you say liquidity pool, in what context do you mean there? You mean in terms of rewards for liquidity mining, or something else?
Uh, we'll just buy coins and put them into the mine right now
Hmm.
for the time being.
When you say the mine, what do you mean there in terms of for people that are
Mine is actually the staking place where, like, if you stake,
right?
from where does the coin comes from? It comes from mine or some
Got
PvP
it.
mines. Like it's the
Oh, okay.
treasury, you can say the unknown treasury, which nobody can find out.
Okay, so essentially, I mean, staking rewards could always be continuous, right? Because you're able to cycle them back out of the game
Yes,
into
yes,
stakers. Right,
yes.
right.
Like some of it actually gets burnt, a percentage of it. So it's
Mhm.
not 100% going back into the mines.
So one mechanic in the game that I find interesting is if I understand correctly, you can have like all your cats follow you in the game. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, we were thinking to have all the cats follow, but our devs are saying that it might clutter the whole space, so we might limit it or something like 5 to 10 cats maybe. Or we will actually test that during the beta testing to see if it
Okay,
actually creates any problems. Or
I see. Because the other players are going to also see the cats. It's not just going to be
yeah,
you seeing your
it,
own
it,
cats, right?
yeah, and that will be in the multiplayer lobbies. Like the game itself is single player for most of the time. If you're battling, then only you encounter your opponents. And there will be some place which are multiplayer where you can actually see other people with you, like in the apartments or the place where you are crafting your home, crafting stuff, farming, and like building your home, land plots and stuff. At that place, it probably will be multiplayer where you will be able to see other people as well. You will be able to invite them into your homes and show them off the home you have created with decorations and stuff.
Very cool. Okay, so there's going to be like a chibi home for the cats. So is that going to be like a common
Yes, yes.
home for all your cats? Like,
You can actually keep your cats in your home if you want, so it doesn't really matter. Or you can just have them roaming around you.
so is there going to be like a choice for the staking? So like you have a choice to stake your cat or to use it in the game, or are these staked cats going to be usable?
The stake cats actually probably will not be usable. Like they will be in
Yeah.
the staking contract. So if you are staking the cat, you won't be able to use them for battles.
Okay. So then there's kind of be kind of a competition for your
Yeah,
cats
you can
between the
only do
staking and
one
game.
thing.
Right. And that should help to declutter the game a considerable amount too, right? Because a lot of people
Yeah,
will stake them passively.
yes. Now it depends. Now, people will make strategies to maximize their earning and how they do stuff. Like when the mines arrive, you will have cats with rarities giving you more dust, and there will be strategies like the teams of three will earn you more dust. Like there will be abilities and stuff as well when the mines arrive.
Right. And it's I mean I think it's important for a game to have some ability for whales to participate that just want to drop a chunk of capital into a game and have it earn for them. And so I think the staking would accomplish that for the Chibi Cats, right?
Yeah, the
And
staking is actually the passive part
the passive
where you
part,
don't
right?
have to do anything. All you have to do is buy and stake them. The cooking
Right.
game will also be semi-passive because you like if you don't want to do anything, you don't have to do anything. If you do anything, you can just make the process faster. So you will get more, a little more. But even if you don't uh, do anything, it's still gonna earn. Like, but you will have to plan your stuff, like how you will use your dust cats, because dust cats are not immortal. They die out because they are created from something called dust soul. So they will die out, and the time will also depend on how many cats are there in the whole universe at the moment.
Okay, so these are different than the cats that people are minting now, right?
Yeah, they are different. Even breeding cats are not same as dust cat. When the breeding mechanics will arrive, those cats will be generation one or generation two cats. Dust
Mhm.
cats are completely different. They are something else.
Okay, almost like when you summon a soldier in an MMO, right? There's it's kind of there to assist, and they
Yeah,
it's much more fragile than an actual owned cat.
yeah, exactly. They actually don't survive very long. They
Mm,
are not actually actual cats. They are. It depends. Like when the lore will arrive, we'll see what they are. Okay?
right.
I won't be disclosing much right. One thing though, the arcade will actually get destroyed. Uh, you'll still have battle tanks in Catlands, but the arcade itself will turn into twins, and it will like have open more possibilities to about puzzles and stuff.
Right. Very cool. And then so is everyone's tanks going to be the same, or will the tanks
No, there are gonna be many, like a lot of tanks. In the first update, there might be at most two or three, but in the like as updates keep coming, there will be like ton of tanks, like 20, 30 types of tanks, and with skins and colors and customization, like there will be unique tanks all over. It's like probably there won't be two similar tanks at all.
oh, it's going to be like that. There's going to be a DNA to them of some kind.
So you can customize a tank in any color you want. There are actually 4 or 5 types of color that every tank has, like the main body, the details, the sub body, and stuff. So you can customize everything about that. You can customize your skins a little. Some of the skins will be movable here and there, so you can change how they look. There will be like tons of skins. I think you have actually seen the skins for
Mhm.
the roles of the Discord role
Yep.
skins. Yeah, so those are just the beginning. There will be actually more skins, and you can buy them using extra stuff.
Yeah, the art is looks really nice and really smooth. And one thing that I thought was interesting was the decision recently. I would call it a community decision because I think we all voted for it and got behind it. Um,
Yeah.
was the decision to on how you're handling accounts. So can you maybe
Yes.
explain that a little bit in terms of the uh, how what benefits their
Sure.
what the
Sure.
new account system is and all that.
So one problem about MetaMask is that it cannot actually connect to standalone games. Like if you have a PC game or a mobile game or games from iOS, you cannot directly connect your MetaMask to it. So the only thing you can do about that is create a web game, right, with WebGL graphics. Now, the problem with WebGL graphics is that it cannot really handle much. So, if you have a WebGL game, you will have to reduce your polygons, the texture quality goes down, shadow quality goes down. You can't use a lot of shaders. Like you can't make your game pretty. It will look kind of boring, and the graphics won't look good at all. Like when I was creating games when I was creating the assets for the WebGL part, which is the arcade assets. If you actually look closely at the arcade assets, you will see the wood blocks are actually single color. Everything is plain colored. There are no hand painted textures. But if we move from WebGL to standalone games, we can actually create hand painted textures, and we can make the game really pretty. Like it will look pretty much like Animal Crossing if you want. But our style will be slightly different, but it will look awesome. So the graphics goes up by a lot. Like you can use at least like 10 into or 20 times the polygons you were able to use in that. So the graphics goes up a lot. The second thing is that how the accounts work. So as I said, the wallets actually can't connect to the standalone games. So you have to find a way to like authenticate who's playing. So what you do is you connect your wallet and you go to our website and you create a Chibi Cat Cafe account. So that account gets linked to the wallet. Now what you can do is the account that you make are part of a contract. So if you have say 31 coins and 50 extras, what you do is you transfer maybe 50% of those to the contract of GBCat's account, and then you can completely forget about your wallet. You can log in from your iOS, your Android, or your PC, and you can just play the game with the coins you have submitted in the account. So you don't have to connect your wallet in the public at all. You can just play the game using the GBCat Cafe account and the coin stored. Now, for example, you say buy a new cloth or a tank or something you bought in game that is a blockchain item. So what happens if the next time you connect your wallet, you can actually take those back into your wallet. All the blockchain items are completely yours. They will stay in the contract. You can make them stay in the contract, but you can also retrieve them to your wallet anytime you want, and you can take back into your Chibi Cafe account again anytime. So it completely like makes the process a bit more fluid. The only drawback the people have been suggesting is the security of it, like how secure it is. So I was talking with our devs and I told them that of course security is our first and foremost priority. So they told me that its security won't be a problem because they will be handling everything with some dev stuff they told me. I wasn't completely sure, so I will have to look it out. Or actually, I was actually hoping to get our devs in here, but one of our devs actually got ill and was hospitalized, so I couldn't get the devs in.
Oh, I'm sorry to
So
hear that. I personally have a real a special place in my heart for your devs, because two of them actually assisted me, saved me a lot of time when we were making our anti-sniping API. They took a few minutes and pointed me in the right direction and just saved me a bunch of time for developing that.
they're
So
actually like
I really appreciate
their
that.
skill level are like amazing. They are really good at
Yeah,
what they do.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you have a decent amount of devs working on your team, which I find that's a really it's really cool. You've managed to build the team, with a decent amount of devs, because it is still a small project, right? I mean, like, you know, uh, it's
Yeah, it's comparatively small at the moment. Like there
yeah.
hasn't been much marketing yet because we want to like pivot the marketing on the game. So we haven't started. We haven't even started out properly, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's still early. I mean, it's still really early, you know, for people to get in and, either, whether they're sweeping the floor or minting. And
Yeah,
I really think people should do a mixture of both, because you are, the minting, of course, you have a chance for some nice rarities still, right? And rarities do play a part in the game, right? That's
yeah. Like in terms of traits, if you have rarer traits, those are actually stronger.
right, right. And then that helps you in terms of battling or in terms of leveling or
Yeah, in terms of battling. In
right.
terms of earning staking as well, because rarer cats earn more staking during when the mine arrives.
Oh, okay. Is that currently the case, or
No,
like in the
that's not currently the case. In Xdust, we are just giving out one Xdust per day to everyone, and
right,
even
right.
after Dust is converted to dust, the same thing will happen. The mines are actually in construction right now. We are making the mines at a site, so we'll have it ready by maybe say quarter 3 or quarter 4, along with the games.
Right. That's really cool. Um, so
Let me actually
okay,
give a small. Uh, just give me a second.
sure. One cool detail too that if you're new to Chibi and you've joined their Discord, which of course we recommend doing, that might go unnoticed is the OGs. So this is one thing I just love about NFTs in general is that since there is so many parts to them, there's the token IDs and there's metadata, you can always add significance down the road. Wink, wink. We might do that as well with our collection. Based on
Yeah,
those types of things. And so yeah, the first 100, if you have one of the first 100 token IDs in the collection, that grants you OG status in their Discord. So I thought that was
yeah.
real interesting, and I personally focused on that. So I own a super OG. So the first 50 give you super OG status. But either way, you get access to the OG channel. And so I have a super OG. That's my PFP in the Chibi Discord. And then I also have
Actually,
3.
owning a super OG or an OG is actually going to be beneficial because you will get to test all the beta testing. You will actually get to know everything beforehand and stuff like that.
Right. And that'd definitely be useful, especially in the early periods of updates, right, when people are still getting acclimated.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so that's a real good advantage. And so we've actually here, I'm going to do this command real quick I'm going to do this command called wife power in our Discord, and it shows the health in general, and it shows the holder benefits. And so one of them uh uh what we were just saying here. So in the giveaways, if you look at the giveaway benefits,
Benefits.
right, we're actually going to be giving away more than this, but this is just what I could commit to. At the time we made the diagram, this is what I could commit to. But
Actually, this is a lot of giveaway. Actually, so
yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we tried to really beef it up. And while there's we're probably going to add to this too for especially for Chibis. But in the first 500, so this is going to probably be mostly, if not all, wife listers. But yeah, they're all going to have a chance to win an OG Chibi Cat, which again grants you OG status in the Discord, and then it also it helps you in the game. Gives you a boost in the game. So.
Oh, I completely forgot to tell you that OG and Super OG cats will actually have an ability called Copycat, and they can take any ability that they want.
Oh wow, that's a major alpha right there. That's very cool. Oh man, because like I mean I have 4%. I like saying that a lot, so I'm just gonna use this opportunity to say that. But yeah, I have 4% of the OG supply. You know what I mean? So that's really cool to hear that they get that they have some added
Could you
utility.
repeat that? Could you repeat that? The OG chippies, they can do what? They can mimic?
So
Sorry, I
yeah,
couldn't hear you.
yeah. So EK Rafifi was just asking to just have that explained one more time about that copy ability.
Oh, so every single Chibi Cat will have abilities depending on its traits, right? So the rarer traits are mostly stronger than the common ones, and if you have a trait that is the OG or the Super OG trait, then that will actually allow you to copy any other trait that you want or any other ability that you want.
That's incredible. That's really
That-
cool utility.
Yeah, that is really cool. And I remember I was
And
actually in. Go ahead.
I was saying, actually, it's not even one time. So you can change your ability for one day or 1 week, depending on the times. So you will be able to change the ability as many times as you want as well with copycat.
Oh, okay, so you can hold on to one of them at a time, right, and then
Yeah,
replace that with another one. That is
with another ability.
it's a very
Wow.
clever. It's very clever. Um, and yeah, I mean, I remember I was actually in the Discord when the announcement went out that the first 100 would be treated specially, and I immediately went to NFT Key and started looking through all the first 100 token IDs, and I think that's when I nabbed most of my OGs.
I think the
So
floor price was really low back then. It was in
yeah,
120s and 120s.
yeah, they were, but even then I think actually I got an OG for 401, if you can believe that, which is just
That's actually cool.
yeah. Yeah, that was
I
the
think
lowest I
currently
got
the
it.
OGs are actually priced way higher.
Yeah, so right now the floor for OGs is much higher. So I'd have to really check it, but I'm certain that yeah, by now everyone got the point, right? That
Yeah.
yeah, so now if you can even find them listed, right? So the floor for Super OG is 4,000 let's see here, 4,440 uh all fours, four fours of one for a Super OG. So that's the cheapest you can get one of the first 50, and then
That's
yeah, and then you can usually you can try and snipe. Yeah, I mean, I used to see a lot more listings, right? But I think they've gone to mostly diamond hands, right?
yeah, and
Because
staking. Staking.
yeah, well, yeah, staking definitely has a big part of it. But I think also too, all this utility that you're talking about, people are starting to actually read up, and the message has gotten out. Because right now the floor for OGs is 2,345 one, which
So
is
that's pretty high as well.
yeah, that's for regular OG, and it's
Yeah.
4,444. Yeah. So and I'm right now the floor price is 212, which we're gonna work on fixing that ourselves, because we have some capital coming in. But yeah, so the yeah, I mean that I think people are getting the sense of all this utility um that you're talking about,
Yeah,
because I
that's
mean the
actually good.
copyability
And
alone is pretty.
also
Go ahead.
there is a utility for our initial partners, like you, for example, like Morsel. You are the first like cross-platform AMA that we are doing actually. So what happens
Oh,
is in Catlands and stuff, there will be we won't have actual like the traditional kind of advertisements you see like videos and stuff. Instead, we will have banners all over the Catlands. Like if you move to Chibi Cat Cafe, inside the cafe you will see posters, and outside the cafe you will see a glowing banner with ads. And our initial partners will actually have a permanent spot in there for free.
so are you saying that Morsel Protocol is going to get a banner in your world?
Yep. Yep.
Is that what you're telling me? Oh my goodness,
Absolutely.
that is
Like you
that is
can
so
move
amazing.
around and you can see the Morsel banner there.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. I got to, like I'm trying to have like a proper interview with you and everything, but I just got to say like that really touches me in a big way. I just I I'll I can't even talk about it right now. It's so great.
Yeah,
So
you are
great.
actually one of our first like first cross-platform AMAs, and even one of the
It's great.
first people we have actually collabed with.
Very cool. And I mean, and there's going to be a ton more, right? Because the next segment I want to talk about is your partner services branch of this whole operation. But before that, we should talk about our giveaways, because one of our giveaways got a winner, right? So who won, Patrick?
Old Whisper.
Old Whisper. All right, so let's just give him a little shout out right now.
Congratulations. Yeah. Wait. Oh, Old Whisper. Okay. Old Whisper, congratulations. Which one did you
He,
win with? He or she?
yeah, they won Cat 1314. So
13,
it's
14.
got a cool chef
Checking.
hat and holding a banana.
Old Whisper's not in Chibi Cat
Yes, no.
Discord though.
Oh, does that mean we're gonna have to re-roll?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
we will
happened?
give him a consolation prize. So, okay, we require that people join your Discord. So let's just double check that he's not in that Discord. And I think we would let it slide if he had verified a Chibi. But let's check the profile right now. You're saying in his server he is not in the Chibi Cat server. Didn't follow the directions, so we will re-roll. We will give a consolation prize to a Whisper though, because you know that's something else. The
Like,
didn't enter
it's
the
kind of
Chibi
sad.
Discord. give you a consolation prize.
All right, so we got Bella. Bella's in Chibi Cat.
Oh, it is. Okay, so Bella. Okay, so underscore BELLA, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. I can't believe we're gonna get a banner in this world. It's gonna be so cool. Okay, cool. So that giveaway is done, and then our betrothed one still has 5 participants. We should tell everyone about that because that's gonna end in 10 minutes. And then
yeah.
go ahead.
I forgot to ping everyone on it.
Pays to take the oath. Okay, yeah. So right now we're giving away whitelists. Since we're so early, this is our second week, by the way, in open operation. And so basically, if anyone takes the oath that they will mint a trad wife, then we will put them on the wife list. So let's see here. Let me just remind everyone about this. Okay. All right. So we got another 10 minutes for that giveaway. For the betrothed one, and that's everyone that's on our wife list.
I actually
And then
really
the
love how you
last.
call white list as white list and white paper as white paper. I really love that thing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm
That's
trying to
really
think. I think we
creative,
have.
by the way.
Yeah, the theme kind of all came together real good. And it's not going to please everyone, right? We're not trying to be, it doesn't have to suit everyone, but we're trying to really stress traditional investing principles like diversification, and asset allocation, things like that. So that's why we went with the traditional wife theme. And and there are a lot of collections already in Harmony that kind of celebrate a certain type of woman. Kind of like the Crusaders is a good example. They're like tough,
Yeah.
I'm going to beat you up kind of woman, and that's cool. I mean, that's a whole other thing. And so we just wanted to kind of celebrate like women like my wife. That is a
Like
traditional wife. It takes the
the
traditional wife role.
pillars
And
of the
stuff like that.
society, to be honest.
Yeah. And I mean that's not for everyone, but I agree. Those are those
Yeah,
are values I believe in and things like that. So
that's really cool, actually.
thank you. Um, and we're gonna try and work that through uh the whole theme. We even have multi-chain breeding that will occur too. I mean, our for everyone that has 2 trad wives, they're going to be airdropped a lumberjacks on AVAX, which is going to be our second chain, because we are going to be multi-chain, with the idea of always always creating increased demand for the Harmony collection, which is our OG. It's going to be our OG collection. So so that the trad wife and the lumberjacks will then produce allocations. They'll produce babies to get a baby allocation for every additional chain. So if we go to the 3rd and 4th and 5th chain and so forth. So that's kind of the idea there.
Like the cross blockchain like, thinking is also really cool.
Yeah. I was a kind of semi-early-ish Thorchain investor, at least from back in the BepSwap days. And yeah, so I love when there's we can do things that are multi-chain. And Harmony was like the perfect place to start it just because it is such a great community. And
Yeah,
our
Harmony, like the community of Harmony is just amazing. I haven't seen any community like this. Yeah, like
exactly. I
everyone
mean,
supports each other. It's just awesome.
yeah, it really is. And so that our 2 main products are going to be about signaling support to the community. So it seemed like the best place to do that in Harmony, and then we can spread some of the good Harmony goodness over to other chains after we've worked out all the details and we have products that are solid and things like that. But let's get back to Chibi's. So again, one thing that's really interesting to me is your partner services. So I mean, everything you just explained about the game is compelling, and the more you look into it, I mean, the artwork. I actually want to be in this world. Like, I actually want to spend time in this world,
Oh, let me just show you
especially on
one
the.
thing real quick.
Oh, sure.
The thing actually we were saying that we are upping the graphics by a lot. So what actually we mean by that? Can I use the general chat to like post pictures?
Certainly.
Yeah, absolutely. You can
Oh,
drop
thank
them in general, or do you want to drop them in general?
So this is the WebGL version of the character, if you can see.
Mhm.
So it's blocky and it hardly looks like a human being. But as
Right.
soon as we get to the character, like the main character, let me just show you how it looks. I actually have a GIF of it. Oh, there we go. It's down. So,
Let's see here. Sorry, I had to jump into Snapchat for a second. Okay. Oh, so you're gonna get the after. So yeah, so this is before. Just to explain to everybody, this is the blockier version is before we made the community made that decision
yes,
to
exactly. This is
have the specialized accounts. Yeah.
yes, this is the blocky version, the version that actually we created for the web games, which
Mhm.
it doesn't have proper graphics. And this is for the standalone games.
Wow.
Like everything
Wow.
looks smooth. There is proper animations and stuff. Like
Wow.
customization, you can change your hats, hairs, bags, pants, shirt, everything.
Right. Right. And I mean that's a huge difference. And the thing about it too is there was someone on Twitter that recently said that Web3 has been so focused on sign-in that we forgot to account for sign up, right? And I think that's one thing that you're really fixing with your approach is that you can actually have an account that gets set up and then you opens up so much more functionality than simply just signing in. So I
Yeah,
like that a lot. So yeah, so I mean kind of what I was saying before is that this is a very compelling game. It looks great because that's the thing about Metaverse that has an advantage over just straight GameFi is that you have a beautiful world that a certain segment of the community is going to love to be in. And so I mean there's a handful of Metaverse worlds being developed in Harmony, and they each are in a different niche. You know what I mean? And this is I think Chibi Cats is really going to have a solid niche just from that beautiful world. Then you add the GameFi
yeah,
components, or you mean you add the how you're handling your tokenomics, and I think that is also a compelling reason to get involved in the game. But the thing I'm most excited for really is some of the seemingly less exciting on the surface stuff that is really has, I think, huge potential, and that's in terms of partner services. So can you talk a little bit about
exactly. Yes.
EzTools and that front?
So coming to partnerships, the initial partners, of course, will have banners all over the Catlands. For example, Morsel and Eztools and Harmony Wales, maybe. So a lot of these projects actually helped us during the initial times, so they will all get free banners, free permanent banners. Otherwise those will have advertisement banners and stuff where you can pay a little fees and put it up for advertisements, but that is another thing. Coming to
Mm-hmm.
partner services with EzTools. EzTools is actually started by the cafe devs, by Acadia and Ace, and they actually gathered more and more people from different projects to start a service that will like that will be a complete suit for whatever you want to achieve in Web3. And it's not just Harmony. They are going to extend it to other blockchains as well, like giveaways. For example, this is why I was asking what you use for giveaways, because they actually have a service for giveaways as well. Like you can just give away like hundreds of tokens in just one click. So they have giveaway services. They have what we call it, staking services, and they're actually going to create a lot more services in the long term. And now the good thing about that is that whatever fees and everything of that is going to be super cheap. Like comparatively, like whatever we have right now, that will probably not even be 10% of the price. So, and whatever the fees that EzTools gets, a percentage of it actually gets back into the Chibi Cat Cafe. It goes into the liquidity pool to increase the valuation of the coins, the dust coins.
I was on mute. Sorry about that. So
Oh,
those fees are real interesting to me. Of course, those obviously could, will drive demand for wherever you want to direct that demand, really, in your
yes.
ecosystem. That's a powerful spigot to have your hands on. But also too, in terms of how partners treat the Chibi community, right? It seems like there's opportunities there as well, where your standing in the game could possibly factor into that down the road as your services get a little bit more complex, right? Is
Yep.
there, where, because like one thing I envision is just, you know, the where some sort of boost either on the staking side or maybe in the allocation, because aren't you also doing a launch pad? Isn't that also in the works?
Yes, yes, there will be a launch pad.
Right. So I mean, right there, it seems like that's a perfect area where maybe you're standing in the game, or the level of Chibi Cat you have, whether it's rewarding rarity or rewarding your progress in the game or
Oh,
rewarding.
you're talking about that. Yes, exactly. That will be a thing. That will be a thing. All the easy tool functionalities will actually be possible to access in game, like through you are walking in the game and you can see easy tools headquarters or something like that, and you can just walk and talk to the people there, and you can actually like every single service of easy tools we will try to make it accessible through the game itself. And depending on how many cats you are holding, you might get discounts. Depending on how many like cats there are in your wallet, you may get discounts and like other stuff like that.
Or allocation, possibly. I could see. I'm not saying you're going to do this. I'm just saying that it seems like if you had a launch pad, you could affect allocations. Because I think that even minor adjustments in allocation, let's say for each Chibi Cat there was 1% more allocation or something like that, or something along those lines. I think
Hmm.
that would go a long way. The
That
how
actually
much
makes
people would how much people would care about it would exceed even how much actual dollars difference it is. You know what I mean? Just because it's
yeah,
you know it,
exactly.
I think people want to. This is my kind of the core thesis when it comes to metaverse and such and GameFi is just I truly believe that people are very hungry to have out of game rewards for in game progress or in game standing. You know?
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And I think you're really the first project that I've seen really directly go after that. And I because obviously there's certain things DFK is doing but it's primarily just stuck within the game mechanics, right? So they just keep creating. And I'm not talking down DFK, of course. I'm saying like I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that this is, I think, going to be really the next wave. I think some of these larger games are more the previous wave, and the next wave is going to really be this integration of services and rewarding that increased standing in the game. Because what's cooler than that an IDO comes out, right, that people are excited about, and because you have a super OG or a rare chibi, or you've won a bunch of battles, right, that now you're treated better by this partner project because you won
Yes,
those
exactly.
battles. And in a kind of real sense, these battles become real life battles. I mean, as funny as it is to have a cat and a tank fighting and winning, and it becomes real world because you've just had a real world benefit. Now you have access or increased access to an IDO because of it. I
Yes,
think that's alluring.
that's actually like one of the main reasons we were going after this kind of a economy is because we were sitting down and we were like, what are people getting for it? What are their benefits? What are their utilities? So that's why we came to this plan that even the in-game progress should have something to show for in the real world,
Yeah.
something that will some real world benefit.
Yeah.
So you
I
can
mean,
also enjoy the game while actually getting more benefits. Because and one more approach that we were doing is that some of the initial games, NFT games that we are seeing, had some problems with the graphics. Like you could really see that they downloaded models from all the stuff. Like I won't name anything or I won't talk down, but
Sure.
like all the models were downloaded from like different sources and they were put together and they didn't look similar. Like the characters and the assets, for example, look completely different. So we are trying to create something that will actually be fun to play. Like you can play for hours and you won't get bored. Like we want to up the entertainment value while upping the in-game and real life utility value.
Right. That's incredible. I think it's really gonna make this game explode. And I think there's very few people in Harmony that understand this aspect of the Chibi Cat Cafe game. And the people that understand it are invested. I mean, I'm pretty invested. I mean, I have thousands invested in this game. You know what I
We
mean? I
have
mean,
been sweeping the floor since ages.
yeah, right. And I'm not selling. I mean, I don't flip them. The only time I lose them is for giveaways, and I just couldn't even imagine selling them this early when all this is happening, and you're embracing this really cool thesis that it's one of those things too, right? It requires a little explanation. Like I think everyone on here understands the significance of it, but it when it's actually happening, it's going to be huge, right?
Yes.
Because once they know, oh wow, you're getting more of an IDO, and especially when there's, not every IDO is super successful, right? But you get an IDO that people really wanted, and it ran through your system. And of course, we're hoping the timing works out on our end. We're definitely considering using Eztools depending on the timing and all that.
Yeah,
But
sure. Like you can talk to me or our devs anytime you want, and they will
Oh.
come up with some solutions for that.
Yeah. Okay, great. And we actually do have time, right? Because we're going to have a period before the IDO and before our NFT staking where we're paying out
Yes, exactly.
royalties, to people while they're waiting. And so, 100% of our secondary sales royalties are going to go to holders in airdrops.
Oh,
And
that's actually super cool.
yeah, and then so it's kind of like our team is motivated to get to the NFT staking portion because that's when the royalties will end and the NFT staking begins, and then those royalties can go to fund the project. And so I kind of set it up that way so that the longer they have to wait, then that's the more royalties they're earning. So, so I'm real excited about that. We should announce too. We another Chibi Cat has gone. Do we have a winner yet for the? Do we have a winner that is qualified for?
Yeah, Presto the Mage.
Presto Mage. Okay, and he is in the Chibi Discord, right?
Congratulations. Wait, let me just...
Yeah, I confirmed it.
You confirmed it. Oh, okay, cool. Congratulations, my friend. And did I say which one was going to be for that one? I think that's the one we did. Let's see here. Oh yeah, right. Because the betrothed one is the one they had to actually be here, so we didn't post which cat it is. But we'll sort that out after the fact. And then the last giveaway, of course, is in the Chibi channel. So just for the verified, how many people are entered? We have 7 entries. So our general giveaway had a lot more entrants. It had 64 entrants, right? And so that's it shows it really does pay to come here and verify your holding, because in 5 minutes we're going to have a giveaway, and you have a 1 in 7 chance of winning a Chibi Cat right now. So and it's a pretty cool one. It's one of those one of the ones that are holding a water bottle. So I mean 1 in 7 chance, and all you got to do is just sign a message, with our bot. So so that'll be cool. So the question for us now is, because we kind of talked about the partner services, which again, I think are huge, because I thought there were only 2 partner services. I thought it was going to be staking and the Launchpad. But now you're saying about the giveaways. So before we leave partner services, can you explain about the giveaway platform? Is this going to be like a loot box situation?
We actually have a giveaway platform already. Like that was the first thing Eztools ever made.
Oh.
So
okay.
what happens is that, say you want to give away 100 cats to 100 different people. So you will have to pay gas for every single transaction. You will have to go through one address one by one. So instead, there is what Eztools does is you can just type the IDs and the addresses and just send them all at once. You can also do like 1-200. You don't even have to type the IDs. Then all you have to do is 1-100, and you will have 1 to 100 selected, and you can just type addresses and send and click send, and they will all be gone. Like it's not too much of a big deal, but it was the first thing that Eztools created, and it was the starting point.
Okay, and I'm gonna need a link for that because that sounds amazing. But yeah, I'll bug you guys in your Discord later
Yes,
about
yes,
that
yes.
because I definitely have used it for staking and it's very slick, by the way. I mean this is the best I've seen in terms of NFT staking by far. And
But there are the fees is even too low because you don't have to pay anything at all. Like the people who are staking don't have to pay anything at all to stake, right?
right.
Unlike other things, and the project actually pays a yearly fees of that is also cheap, like 500, 600 one at max.
Yeah, that's
So
easy.
for a
That's
yearly
easy.
fees, you actually get to stake for free for the entire year.
Wow,
And
wow.
there are custom contracts, like if you want rarer objects to earn more, whatever coin you are earning, so you can talk to our devs and they will create the contract themselves for you.
Yeah, then there's little touches too, right? Like you can still see all of your cats, right, that are staked. I think
Yes.
that I'm actually a little not to get into like the ones and zeros of it, but that's one thing I'm a little curious about how you actually were able to accomplish that since they are on the staking contract. But it's a very nice little detail.
To be honest,
And
I don't know because
yeah,
the
right.
devs are the wizards here.
Sure. But I guess my point is that little touches like that are actually you'd be surprised that how much that actually matters because it
Yeah.
just if you're doing a giveaway, right? Like I have my stuff staked, and if I do a giveaway, it just is nice to go see which one it is without having to get the token ID and go to NFT key and look it up and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
that's definitely something I appreciate. Um, and it is cool that the Chibi Cats can earn two currencies. They're earning one in terms of reflections, and then
Yes.
they're earning the X dust, which of course is going to have very many utilities.
Yes. Exactly.
Um, so that is very cool. Okay, so the giveaway. So yeah, all right. I'm gonna bug you about the giveaway portion later because it sounds like that's something because we do a lot of giveaways. So I would love to be able to make use of whatever tools you're talking about if they're open to the public yet.
Yeah, they're actually open to the public. Anyone
Okay,
can use
great. So I'll definitely bug you about that. Then the last thing is in terms of just like how funds can take an investment. But before we get to that, I think our Chibi Cat winner is going to be. Oh wait, we still have some time on that. Let's see here, Chibi. No, it's in a few seconds. Okay, so we're about to have a winner, and again, 7 entrants, and again, this is not the we created these channels to use them repeatedly, right? So I haven't really announced this publicly, but I'll just tell this group that every time that you see it in the holder benefits that we do a giveaway, we're going to try and do one in the verified channel as well. So we have a winner right now. That's Fat Cord. So let's just double check that he is actually okay. He is well, yeah. They're verified Chibi holders, so I think that we probably don't even need to worry about them being in the Discord because they have proven they own a Chibi.
it. Yeah,
I think that is enough, right?
that is enough.
And he's there. Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
there
he's
anyway.
over there too. He's just got a different name, but yeah.
Cool. Fat Cord. All right, so let's let him know. And he won a real nice one. I really like that one that we're giving him. Let's see here. I'll post it in the general real quick. Second. And then yeah, we can talk about the last thing I really want to talk about is the investments. So hold on one second. Just pop this in the general. There we go. And it's that cord. Okay. This Chibi. Cool. All right, cool. All right, so so Thorchat, is Thorchat actually on the voice right now? I don't think so. That's okay. Oh yeah, we do have one more giveaway too. So the three have gotten winners, and then they can DM me the address. I will send them all out. And we're gonna do an MTOP giveaway as well. We're gonna give away 100 MTOP, which is roughly like I think $75, $80, something like that. But before we do that portion, let's talk about kind of how we can structure investments. So like one thing that I really like is to see projects take investments in other community projects. Partially because I mean I'm very bullish Harmony Games. I've done very well tracking these games over time. So a lot of these giveaways I got much cheaper, and it's kind of a strategic advantage where if you follow these projects early enough, and Chibi's is certainly very in that early stage. It makes it where you can really take a small investment and then have a very valuable giveaway down the road. And so that's kind of been my strategy. And so, but that's going to continue on. We're going to want investments in communities projects. So how would you? We talked a lot about like how the inner workings of the game will work, and that's going to be primarily for gamers. For people that want to be in this world and make advancement. So, but how would you structure it for a treasury that wants to take a more passive investment? How would you?
For the passive investments, we of course have the staking. That's number one. And of course, actually, there is one thing that I should. So apart from the staking, I said we have a cooking game, which is again semi-passive. So you can just buy some dust cats and get them to work and forget it for a week, say. So that is also semi-passive. So you don't have to work too much for that. And then we have the part, which is actually a bit new to this place, I guess. So what happens is, say you don't actually have. So how do I start? For example, you have cats, right? You have cats, and you have bought a land, and you have started creating your house. So you create a farm. Now, in the farm, you will have to actually work to get your crops and stuff like that. So once the game releases and once the economy is set, we will actually get rid of shops. Like in-game shops will stop being a thing. There won't be any in-game shops at all. Or we might keep an in-game shop to keep the initial minimum prices set. Other than that, the whole economy will actually be set by players. Like you can craft items and sell them. You can forage for, say, flowers and nectar and craft different items using those and then sell them to the players who need that. And it will just depend on supply and demand, right? Now, for example, let me give a brief idea. Whenever you start, say, cooking in the cooking game, you will start by buying some food and buying a dust cat. The dust cat will actually last for, say, a month or a week, but the food you will have to buy daily. So the raw materials, the food raw materials, and you will have to put it in your kitchen, and then the cats will start working. So, for example, let me say that the food is worth 10x dust. Now, say you start a farm. So in the farm, you can grow crops, right? So you grow crops, and using those crops, you can again use those as food for your Chibi Cat cooking game. Now, instead of 10x dust, you sell them for 9. So most people will just try to buy it from you instead of the in-game shops. So using that, we will try to drive a player-driven economy. One thing is that. Now, the second thing is, for example, you don't own a cat, you don't have, you can't invest right now, and there's like you can't invest right now. You don't have a cat, you can't buy farm plots and all. So what you do is you can still play the game without having cats or X dust or anything at all by like going into the woods and collecting items and trying to sell it to the public, or you can work in other people's farm. Like for example, like if someone has cats and plots, they will have to buy X dust and they will have to put crops in the farm. So it becomes semi-passive. So they can just hire someone, and the hired person will do all the work for them for some amount of dust, while they can just sit at home and do nothing. They can just passively earn.
Okay. So so you could run a farm based off of weekly management, or would it need to be more frequently? Because the other aspect, you said you could be handled weekly, right?
Yeah,
Uh, I'm sorry,
the
I
cooking.
just
Yeah,
the cooking, right. So that can be handled weekly. So would the
yeah,
farming be
but the
more like a
farm you will have to handle daily.
daily? Oh, okay. So
Like the farm, you don't have to own a farm. Like it's not mandatory.
mhm.
But if you own it, you can actually grow your own crops, so you won't have to buy any food, like buy any raw materials for yourself. Like it will be way cheaper.
Okay, so if you're running a farm, oh, it's cheaper, but it can also be a revenue source as well, right?
Yes, exactly. So you can
Okay. So
also sell
they're
it
not
to other people.
right. The items aren't bound to your character
Yes.
account or anything like that. Right. Great. And so okay, so it sounds like depending on how much active, but that's still fairly passive, in a sense, right?
Yes.
Because it sounds like once a day it could be like a 10-minute thing where you kind of 10-20 minute thing where you just make your rounds and move
Yeah.
everything along. Is that sound about right? Or
Yeah, that totally works. Like it
Mhm.
can be even more passive, like maybe once every 30 minutes or 1 hour. But of course, if you are sitting in front of the game, you will be rewarded. Like uh,
Mm.
the more you play, the more faster the crops will grow up. Something like that. We will create a mechanic so
Oh,
that
okay.
more frequently you actually play the game, the faster your crops will grow. Something.
Okay. So like if we have someone on staff that can actually play the game, because that is an aspect we're considering as well. Um,
Yes.
my wife actually likes a lot of these games, so she may end up helping to manage some of this.
That's cool.
And that fits in with our Treadwife theme as well, because that's the idea that that's one aspect of like just traditional women in general that in the past that is gotten like a little bit overlooked is just how much they were involved with like managing, helping to manage the family assets. And
Yeah.
so, like in Proverbs 31, for example, they mention that and they get into that. So yeah, anyway, the management of those assets is something that, um, if you can manage to have a full-time, and I think that is something that's going to happen for certain treasuries, is going to have someone whose job it is to manage full-time, these game assets and keep the income coming. So that is really interesting, and certainly once a week is for the cooking part is certainly more than enough in terms of passivity. Um, you do want to have some sort of, and if you need more passivity than that, then you can just keep your cats staked, right, and
Yeah. Or
harvest
you can
them.
just hire someone to play the game for like
Yeah.
they will get some extras so they can start buying their own cats and stuff.
Right. That's awesome.
We
That is
actually
really awesome.
thought that we actually have an active game. Like battle tanks, there is zero passivity. You cannot do anything if you will
Yep.
add a passive stuff. And so we thought we should also create something for passive players. Like so, we will have both two, like both one to one.
Yeah, I think that's perfect because obviously the active gamers that are actually spending the time there and enjoying it are, I think that they are in a sense the main focus, right? But you definitely don't want to shut out, there's no reason to shut out the capital from whales or from treasuries or from just people that are just too busy to, that they want. I
Yeah.
mean, if people want to support you, there should be an avenue for them to support you,
Yes.
and
Exactly.
you know, so. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, we will definitely be staking cats. We will definitely be participating in the cooking, and then if we have the bandwidth, we certainly would love to be involved in the farming as well. It sounds really interesting. So that's a pretty and then you have the battling, which is not passive at all. So it's pretty interesting. You like right off the bat, without any other future announcements or developments, you have 4 different levels of involvement in the game that go from completely passive to completely active. And
Yeah. And
I,
you
I
also have the conditional lore that you can either play or you can just ignore, depending on you can just explore the catland or you can play the lore if you want. Depends on
clear the load. Tell me more about the load.
you. Lore, I mean the story mode.
Oh, the story mode. Okay, so there is going to be a focus on lore. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's actually going to have a story mode where like you encounter how the Catlands was made and why it was made. You encounter the cat gods, you fight enemies to protect the cats, discover a few cool stuff that I won't announce right now because it's like quite a big story and there is quite a lot of stuff to do in it, like in terms of puzzles, in terms of finding clues, learning about the past and history of the Catlands to uncover like what's actually going on and what is fed to the public. That like the Catlands, like I will tell this much that Catlands was formed like as per the story, the Catlands was actually formed after a war. That there was a war, and after that the Catlands were formed, and there was a like huge loss of lives and destruction was there.
Wow, that's
So
cool, man.
these
And
these kind of
I think
stuff.
the lore is definitely something that helps to make a game sticky. It makes it more of a barrier to entry. If people have invested in the lore, that's one thing that's great about it, is it is kind of like an anchor for the game because you're familiar with it. And especially, again, I mean, I hate to like beat this drum so much, but the partner services that are going to add significance to this game, that the lore becomes even more interesting because this the advancement, the victories, the accomplishments, and the lore that wraps around them will be even more interesting because people know that their increased standing is going to help them outside this game, and it actually really means something. And to me, I think that's just the direction that investing in general is going in. I don't see how we're not going to have more and more of this because people, and not everyone's going to want the same type of game, of course. Each game is not going to appeal to everyone the same, but there's, we're these differentiated metaverse worlds, I think, are really just going to give each person to pick where they want to invest, what world they want to learn about, what lore appeals to them. And and like for me personally, like I never really invested in meme coins, I've seen a lot of cat collections and I avoided, this is the first one I ever bought because of what is really behind it. You know what I mean? But I have to say that when that whole Old West world came out, where you did the reveals of that, that's the point where I said, I really want to be in this world. I actually do want to spend time in here and check it out. And see it, because I think you did a great job and just made a compelling world there. So I mean, for me personally, I think it scratches the itch in terms of like, do I want to spend time here? Like I definitely want to spend time in Tranquility City. I want to spend time in Cosmic Universe, and I definitely want to spend time in Chibi's. All three of those worlds have a different aspect of the lore that really are drawing me in. So you combine all these things together, the art and the partner services and then the lore, and then these four different styles of investing within it. I think it's just really good combination. I think it's going to be really sticky. So okay, I think now go ahead.
Yeah, I just thank you. I'm
Yeah,
happy that you like the project.
absolutely.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
we are a little slow compared to most of the projects because we messed up a little in the initial times because the influencers and stuff they just left at the last moment and it messed up.
What happened in the initial stage? I'm not
Actually,
familiar.
what happened was that we actually had an influencer who was going to cover us, and we were going to launch the ICO along with that. So suddenly, the influencer actually told us that they are not sure about us because we don't have a game yet. Like it was just one day before the ICO launch. So at that point, we had nothing to do, and we completely changed the plan. We ditched the ICO, and we were like, let's first create a game, go into Harmony Talk, and apply for a grant, and just ignore the influencer part at all. Like we won't need any influencers if we can create the game.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
we are taking things a little slow now, slow so that we can have a great quality in terms of
well,
graphics
that's the
and
beautiful thing
gameplay.
about Harmony, is that it is still a relatively small ecosystem, and
Yeah,
the benefit of that is that there is really no stigma about a slow mint, right?
Yeah.
And look how long it took the Wizards to mint out, right? Of course, when they did land, then all of a sudden it went out in 1.5 minutes, right? But the Wizards, people forget. I mean, that took a long time. It took months to mint out, right? And the same thing with Tranquility City Apartments. They took a long time, and actually, they took longer than I expected because I was in the Tranquility City Discord when Lumen was trading at $2.20. I was telling everyone you really should take profits and go mint the apartments, right? Sell the token because I don't think that's sustainable right now. Over $2 and mint these apartments because like 100 lumen bought you a small apartment. And today, I mean, it takes a lot more lumen than that to buy a small apartment. Um, and uh, and so my larger point though is just that that took time. The um, uh, the puffs too. I mean, the one verse, their her molecules and puffs like also took months and months to sell out. And the puffs just recently sold out. So yeah, so and the dingoes right now, their dingoes I think have yet to reach their 50% mark. And so, but I have absolutely no doubt that dingoes will mint out and that chibi cats will mint out, um, because development is happening. These are these games are going to launch, right? And so there is just no possible way with everything you laid out here that a live game has a 212 one floor price, right? Um, and that it doesn't make sense to mint a cat for this world with all that stuff laid out, and the fact that it's going to look beautiful and stuff. Um, and also too, I think people are not used to crypto games that are run as smoothly because of how you're doing accounts, right? So I mean, that's a lot of parts that we were stacking up together to just show that. I mean, of course, not financial advice and all that, but I just don't see how sweeping the floor as I do whenever I can get capital is not going to pay off, right?
Yeah.
So
Like, we are
yeah, I
set
mean,
to launch the game. We are like we know we are what we are doing. So
yeah,
it's gonna be
right. Right, and I think at this point, right, at this point, it would be really strange to doubt because that's part of the reason why projects have favorable entry points before there's a live game because there's always the risk that there's not going to be a game, right? But
yeah.
the cool thing about Harmony and the projects that are here is that it's kind of hard to hide in this ecosystem, right? There's a there's a lot of visibility. We have access to people on your team, and we're seeing what's coming out. These 3D renderings that are coming out are really the hard part of this whole thing. I think really is that modeling. And of course, there's a million different parts to making a game work, of course. But to me, I'm seeing that investment is being sunk into it. I'm seeing, and then also to all these partner services that you're building, like these partner services are not making you a ton of money right now, right? And so what that shows to me is that there is a vision, because why else would you have built all this, right? There's a vision that's this is all going to tie in together.
Yes.
And so to me, that's where my confidence level is 100% that this game is real, that this game is coming out. And so that to me makes the investment a no-brainer. Um, but um, but again, everyone's got to make their own investment choices, of course.
Of course, like that's totally true. And even the people who are selling, maybe some people need capital right now. It's totally fine. It's a
Right,
good thing
right,
for people who want to like get into cats. Like instead of minting, you can just get cheaper cats.
right. Yep. Okay, so what we should probably do is do the M top because people have stuck around for a bit now. So Badrick, can you share your screen, do the wheel thing, and
We have a wheel. Nice.
yes.
All right. Everyone see their name on there?
Yep.
Give
Uh,
everybody a minute. Let's see here.
uh, Wait. What is this about, and why am I here?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh yeah. So should we take? Do we have any team members on there? We should probably take any team members off. So. Oh yeah. So I'm sorry. This wheel is for 100 MTOP. So we're gonna give away. The MTOP folks have been generous with us, and so we're giving away. We're giving away. You know what? Take off AK or Fifi as well. He's a team member.
Take me off as well.
Okay. Are you on there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. CG Fella. Yeah, take CG Fella off. And although we don't mind, and then EK or Fifi.
Like I don't want to like decrease other people's chances.
Right. Yeah, under
It's a
Slim.
probability.
Yeah. Under Slim, take a Cool. All right, cool. I think this is a good list, right? Yep. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Jerome. And now, see, Jerome used to refuse prizes because actually Jerome's won a couple of times. And but now I managed to get his address, so now he can't refuse. And yeah, for those who don't know Jerome is very active in the community, and he promotes a lot of streams and things like that. So very happy to have Jerome as a winner. But since so Jerome's definitely a winner, let's give away another. Let's give away another 100 MTOP. Let's do it. Let's just do it. And this is a pretty good prize. I mean, MTOP is like this is like $75 that's going out here. So. All right, M Thor, and I believe M Thor is new today, so that's kind of fun. That's extra fun.
Thor actually joined the Chibi Discord today as well.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, really? Oh, very good. So that may be someone we brought to you guys. That's really good.
Yeah,
it's really good to hear.
Awesome. Like we saw like 50 around 20 to 30 new people in our Discord. So that's all thanks to you guys.
Oh, very cool. I love to hear that, man. I'd love to hear it. Okay, great. Well, that kind of covers that. We I think our music went out. We usually have like some music playing during all this. But is there anything else that you would like to go over? Just I think we covered a lot of ground tonight, right?
Wait.
I mean,
can you share the screen again with the little wheel? Like, why not I just give away a bonus Chibi Cat?
You want to give away one more Chibi Cat to the wheel?
Like from us this time, like from the Chibi Cat Cafe.
Oh, not? Very cool. Very cool. All right. Let's do it.
Should I add it back in the some people?
Yeah, you can add them back. Like the staff member here, you can add them back.
Oh, okay.
Don't add me back, except me.
You know what? Yeah. So, like, if how about this? When it comes to the staff, let's just make sure, like, if they don't have a Chibi Cat, let's let them have a shot.
So I threw Ito back up there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Ito does have a Chibi Cat, but yeah, leave him in. He's actually a super OG. Slim. Very nice.
Okay, so you'll be getting a Chibi Cat. Please DM me your address so we can send you the cat.
Awesome. And in case you didn't hear that for some reason, please DM CG.
Yeah. I do have my DMs turned on as far as I remember.
One more time?
I have my DMs turned on as far as I remember. Like some people had trouble DMing me in the past.
You can set that per server, by the way. You can go, you can right click our server and say edit server profile. No. Oh. Yeah, you right click our server and go privacy settings. And then there's a toggle for it.
Oh, I
but
did
if
not.
Yeah, you can actually do it by server. So I have them set.
Yes.
Yeah, I have them set off by default, but I'm pretty sure, like for so like I have it turned on for Chibi. Like if I'm close to a Discord, if that's like a home for me, then I'll turn it on so that people can reach out. All right.
I turned it on for your channel as well. So
Very cool. Very cool. All right, cool. Well, yeah, they'll reach out. Slim, are you on the line? I mean, you should. If you're, feel free to say a few words of acceptance too, Slim, or at least just acknowledge that you're around still. Oh, he says I'm here. Cool. Yeah, so Slim just DMCG because he was very generous to add a Chibi Cat here. So and I'm more than happy to give for my collection because the more participants obviously we have in the Chibi Cat Cafe, I think it's gonna be huge. And
yeah.
And I really wanted to do an event because we had, like I said, baked Chibi Cats into our giveaways and made that public. So wanted to get people kind of aware of it. So yeah, so I think it's gonna be good, and I appreciate you coming over. And we gave away.
Thanks for having me. Actually, this was a huge deal for me.
Oh, great! And I'm glad you got a chance to practice with us because you're saying this is your first AMA, and you're real cross project AMA, and I really appreciate that honor because I just been with you guys for a while, and I've just been steadily. I mean, that's another thing too that I don't get too caught up on tokenomics, right? Like everything you said today was compelling, but to me it's like a matter of trust, like in any other relationship, right? Like we have a relationship with a project. I have a relationship with the Chibi Discord. And so over time, you guys have always made good decisions and really a cut above decisions, right? And there's been a few critical moments where you did that. So, I mean, at this point, I just trust what you guys are doing. And so instead of like, nitpicking at some perceived problem I have with like a tokenomics, which I don't, by the way. I mean, your tokenomics stuff looks real good, but it's just like, the team is the part that you can't really easily change. The tokenomics can be changed at any moment. So if you have a team that you trust that makes, high quality decisions, highly above average decisions over time, that's the sort of thing that I care more about than, those other details. So, so yeah, it's just real cool to have you here and be able to do this.
Yeah. Thanks for having you there.
Very cool, my friend. And so anything else, Patrick, you want to say before we split, or
I do have to announce the content contest results.
Oh yeah, so we had another contest going on in terms of to creating some memes and other content. So go ahead, why don't you announce the winners for that?
All right, so in first place, we selected Marcel Morris, and then second place is going to be Quaizon, and then in third place is going to be GYZ. Thank you everyone for making us some advertisement content.
Very cool. And you're going to put out I got to make sure that you can do news updates because we definitely want to put that out and put it on Twitter and talk about the winners there. So we'll put that out. Very cool. All right. Well, I don't want to hold everybody up. Some of my staff here is here pretty late, and some people stayed up real late. So I'm glad that we did all the giveaways. And anyone who hasn't gotten their thing, please DM me. And we'll definitely. I definitely do want to do the last bit of business is just that when our mint is live, we would love to do an event with you guys or on your Discord if you want, or any which way we can do it.
Like you are welcome anytime you want.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. And we're getting close to going live with our mint. So once we know that is live and the bugs are, like there's no bugs or anything, and it's running smoothly, well, I'm definitely gonna reach out and I'd love to be over there. And I will definitely have more chibis to give away because right after this, I'm gonna go and sweep the floor a little bit more too. So absolutely, man. Well, anyway, thanks again, and yeah, I'm gonna definitely let my staff split, and everyone else, and just really appreciate you coming over.
Yep. Thanks a lot to you too.
Oh, my friend.
Yeah, have a great night.
Yeah, everybody, thanks again, and then we'll try and do something with this recording.